Hi everyone, welcome. FPLMattDay here, and it's my live Game Week 13 deadline stream. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late this week. We are 55 minutes away from another deadline. This is a really important deadline as well because there's been so many injuries over what's been like a really long international break. So it's great to have FPL back, but I'm sure there's lots of questions from all of you to go through all the way up until deadline. We'll go through all of the usual stuff tonight. Fixtures, score predictions, best players from each game, injury updates as well, answering your questions, and then I'll be bringing up any team news that comes in from now until the deadline as per usual. Be sure just to give the video a quick like. If you haven't done and you're watching the stream, then please give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and if you haven't watched the channel before, and as I mentioned before, get your comments in as well. But look, let's share the fixtures in a second. We'll bring up this comment. This has come from FPL Roo. Long time no see. Go and check out FPL Roo's channel. Now, if you haven't done already, I actually just spent a couple of hours on his stream, just chatting FPL. I think I was on for about 2 hours, but it honestly felt like it went so quick because we just spoke about so much stuff for this game week, which is good because it's given me a lot of good tips for this stream. We'll share screen, so let's share now, and we'll go through the fixtures as always. And this is an interesting game week because we'll go through each individual fixture soon, but you'll see this week City, Liverpool. A lot of people have players from both of these teams. Then you've got Brentford, Arsenal. Quite a few people with both Arsenal and Brentford assets. Newcastle, Chelsea. Spurs, Aston Villa. So there's some big clashes this week, and a lot of people are concerned. If you haven't done, I did a tips video this week, so you can check out my top tips as well in the background whilst you're watching this stream, if you like. And I did speak in that, and I said these games where there's matchups against each other, it's not always the worst thing because you tend to get usually some points out of them. Someone still has to score in these big games, and hopefully they're just goal fests, and all your attacking options score. So look, let's start with the City Liverpool game. Welcome to the stream, FPL Pulisic. Hope you're well, mate. City Liverpool early kickoff. I think Haaland will be fine. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't start this game. Like I said, we'll be doing team news all the way up until deadline anyway. But yeah, I think Haaland starts. City are letting in a lot of goals, so if you've got any other defenders, I wouldn't really be relying on clean sheets. Liverpool defensively have actually looked pretty solid this season, but I can't see them keeping a clean sheet in this one. I think there'll be goals either side. I'm going to go with the 3-2. I know it's an early kickoff, but I've got a feeling there's going to be a lot of goals in this. And I'm not going to say who I think is going to win because I'm not sure. I think it could be City 3-2 or Liverpool 3-2. I think Haaland scores. I think Salah scores. I think Bernardo Silva's involved. I think Darwin Núñez is going to be involved. So, yeah, it's going to be a really good game, this one. I know it's normally a little bit slow after the international break, but, yeah, I think after the chaos of Man City 4, Chelsea 4, I think it's just going to continue into this game. It's going to be a really good game to watch as a neutral of this fixture like myself. We'll bring up some more questions. I'll just zoom in a little bit there for everyone as well so they can see. I'll bring up some more questions that have come in or comments. PSB, welcome to the stream, mate. It was great to see you on FPL Rouge stream before as well. Obviously, I've noticed you've got Son captain as well this week, which, yeah, very good choice. CR7 the GOAT, welcome to the stream, mate. Look, I'd still be starting Darwin because City are vulnerable at the back. Liverpool are always going to create chances with the football they play. Darwin's going to get opportunities. He gets like 2, 3, 4 plus opportunities every single game. Sheffield United, despite the fact they're playing against Bournemouth, they don't create huge amounts. It wouldn't put it past me if both of them potentially return some type of points. But from my point of view, I'd be looking at it thinking, like, which team and player would I rather watch this week? And I'd say Darwin Núñez, mate. Let's go on to this Burnley versus West Ham game. So this is a very interesting game because there is a few of us with Burnley assets. I had Foster. He's obviously going through some mental health issues, which is obviously really sad. So I've had to transfer him out for Archer this week, who I've obviously just spoke about then, which is a shame because I would have liked Foster to have played. He was getting a lot of points. I've got Charlie Taylor. He'll be my first sub this week from Burnley. But outside of that, I wouldn't be looking at any Burnley players for this game. For West Ham, I'd definitely be looking at the likes of Paquetá in midfield, the Brazilian. Really good option. One of my differential picks under 10% this week. Got 9 points in the previous game week. Jared Bowen, injury update news. There's a lot of talk that he's had some fluid on the knee. He didn't train yesterday. With that in mind, will he start this game? Look, I think if he gives the green light to David Moyes and to West Ham and he says, I feel fine. It's just a little bit of aggravation on the knee. I think he starts, plays a game, and he probably comes out and gets a couple of goals. It's just what Jared Bowen sort of does. He's a good player. So, yeah, I would start Bowen. If you've got Bowen, I would start him. I wouldn't captain him, but I'd definitely start him because there's still a solid chance that he gets these minutes. If he doesn't, and you want to look elsewhere for West Ham, Paquetá, like I mentioned before, as well as Kudus are probably good options. You'd more than likely start Areola this week as well for West Ham. Given they're playing against Burnley, but still wouldn't expect a clean sheet from West Ham. Not the greatest defensively, but yeah, I'm going to say maybe a 1-1 in this game, potentially a draw. Burnley really need to start getting results, and yeah, this could, if Bowen's out, this could be something. If Bowen plays, I think West Ham win the game, maybe 2 or 3-1. Let's bring up some more comments. PSB just saying he thinks Burnley might concede, but I reckon they will win this. Yeah, they need to do something, mate. Burnley need to do something. Luton Palace. This is another one where I'm not really targeting those Luton assets this week. Morris is probably the only player you look at from Luton and think, okay, might get something from this game week, or maybe even the goalkeeper. He tends to make a lot of saves. Then as for Crystal Palace, there's a few murmurs of people picking Edouard, but I'm not so keen on him. I do like the Eze pick. I like the Mark Gahey pick. I like the Tyreek Mitchell pick. I think they're good players for this fixture. So if you've got them, start them. Again, though, I can see it being quite low scoring. I'm going to either back a 1-0 Luton or a 1-1 draw in this. I can't see either team coming out winning comfortably. But there's definitely FPL options in that one, like I've just mentioned. Let's go down to Newcastle versus Chelsea. This is another really interesting game. Chelsea coming off the back of 2 good wins. Newcastle with a big Champions League game to come in this game week. So that will be in the back of their mind, but they'll want to get a win in this after that defeat against Bournemouth in game week 12. I still think Trippier is worth starting. Good pick. Gordon, good pick. If Isak's back, which I expect that he is, I think Eddie Howe said he's fine. That will give Gordon a lot more space, a lot more opportunity to sort of roam and get in the box. So yeah, Gordon's definitely a threat. So I think they're good from a Newcastle point of view. From a Chelsea point of view, definitely Palmer being on pens, good price. They're attacking and scoring goals again as well. Chelsea, they've scored 8 goals in their last 2. So yeah, Palmer, really, really good pick. Potentially Sterling as well has some potential in him as well. And I'd be keeping tabs on Reece James in this fixture, see how he looks going forward. He absolutely smashed this fixture a few years ago. He got a double-digit score. So keep an eye on him because Chelsea have a good run on paper from game week 16 and onwards. I will back a Newcastle win, though. I think St. James's Park, they'll find a way to win. And I think they will scrap it at 2-1. They actually have a really good record against Chelsea at St. James's Park. So that is Newcastle versus Chelsea. We'll do Forest versus Brighton in a second. Let's bring up some comments that have come in. Lots of regulars, which is good to see. If you're new here to the channel and this is your first time that you've joined, please subscribe to the channel. And if you aren't new, or even if you're new, you're just watching, just give the video a like. We are 45 minutes till deadline as well. So be sure to get your questions in. FPL Pulisic, should I make a transfer? My team, Areola, Anderson, Trippier, Cash. Louise, Bowen, Salah, Son, Diaby, Alvarez. I would not be making a transfer, mate. I'd roll because you can play Anderson, Trippier, Cash. There's your back three. Bowen, Salah, Son, Diaby, Alvarez, Haaland, Aria. Okay. Who's your next bench option, mate? Because if you've got a bench option to cover Bowen in case Bowen doesn't play, then I think you'll be okay. If you don't have a bench option, you might want to try and get a bench option in case Bowen doesn't play, mate. That's probably what I'd say. Wing, welcome to the stream, mate. He's brought Solanke in, and he's announcing it on this stream. And without Haaland, I'm putting captain on Don with recent crazy number of chances and the quality of chances the Cherries created. Mate, it's a great idea. Sheffield United, they are tougher at home, but these are the games Sheffield United are going to really want to look at getting results in. So they'll probably play a little bit more open than what they'd play against the top sides, which will give Bournemouth chances to attack. Solanke's on fire. So I really like that, mate. This is the game week that you're probably going to look at bringing in a differential sort of player or captain. So yeah, great move, mate, and all the best to you. Freedom Kumalo, please rate my team for only game week 13 and give suggestions. So his goalkeeper's Johnston, good pick for this week. Myalenko, Gabriel, and I'm assuming Thiago Silva, or is that Thiago Silva? Midfield, Salason, Eze Palmer, and Mbuemo, Haaland, Edouard. Well, you can definitely play. You've got a back three there to play. You've got a midfield 5 and 2 good strikers. I'm going to give that team an 8 to 8.5 this week. Potentially a great goalkeeper option. 2 strikers that can find the net. Good midfield. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10, mate, for me. PSB, do you think João Pedro starts? We'll leave this question up here and I'll cover off Nottingham Forest versus Brighton now. So Forest, there's definitely some potential to pick. I was on FPL Rouge stream before. We spoke about potentially Chris Wood coming in because Awoniyi's injured. Gibbs White is a good pick as well from Forest. If you're looking at Brighton, there's obviously a Negra who looks really, really good. But yeah, this is another one. Matoma is out of this fixture, so if you've got him, you're going to have to bench him or sell him. They do think Tariq Lamptey is going to come back for this, but he might not start. If you own him, I would start him. He might play and come off just after 60 minutes, fingers crossed with the clean sheet, or he'll come off the bench and get a point. Either way, I would probably start him over someone like Samikas, if that's who you're sort of picking between. João Pedro, I think will start. 100%, I think he'll start because Matoma's out. I think he'll play in that front three with Ferguson in there. Ferguson's okay to play. Adingra will play as well. So yeah, I can see Pedro starting this game week, mate. They've got to play their best attacking talent without Matoma. And Brighton just play good football, so I think they will find a way to get a result in this. I'm going to go 2-1 to Brighton, and I think João Pedro will find the net this week. So that's Forest versus Brighton. We'll do Sheffield United versus Bournemouth in a second. FPL Cortex, welcome to the stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. And he's brought in Matoma to Gibbs White, and he's captaining Salah. That's a great pick. Obviously, we just covered Forest, and Gibbs White is a very, very good pick. And Salah, strong captain option this week. Sheffield United, Bournemouth. Solanke, great pick this week for Bournemouth. Sheffield United, if you've got no one else, then you can definitely start the likes of Jordan Archer, or Cameron Archer, sorry, and maybe Baldock if you're really, really sort of struggling. But I do think Bournemouth will come away with 3 points. 2-1, Solanke at the double. So if you can bring Solanke in, do it. He's on great form at the moment. So we'll bring up some more questions in a sec. We'll quickly cover Brentford versus Arsenal, and then we'll do the last 3 fixtures. So Brentford, if you can afford to get Mbuemo in this week over Mitoma, I don't think there's any harm going a week early. For Arsenal, I think if you've got Saka, obviously you play him. You've got Saliba, you play him. Gabriel, you play him. Martinelli, it's worth keeping for at least another week. So there's still plenty of good options in this. Arsenal are quite good at scraping out these types of wins, sometimes even 1-0. But I think it'll be 2-1. I think it'll be 2-1, and Saka will return, and Mbuemo will return for Brentford. So 2-1 for me in that one. Before I cover off the other fixtures, let's bring up the latest comments. Okay, so FPL Pulisic had Lascelles on and Archer. Okay, so we'll go back to his team. So if Bowen doesn't play, I'd probably put Archer as your one sub. So then Archer comes on for him, mate. So no, I wouldn't make a transfer this week, mate. This is Wrestling Film, Martin Watchhorn. What a legend. Hope you're well as well, mate. Feels like one of those really fun game weeks where there will be a lot of different players in people's team. I'm expecting every away team to score. Mate, I know what you mean. I can't see many clean sheets. Or maybe the Luton Palace game might pull one. Potentially this Fulham Wolves game somewhere. But yeah, I can't see many clean sheets. And this is the game week where differentials are, if you're looking at 1 week punts, you've got 2 transfers up your sleeve and you just make 1 this week and you can have 2 next week. You can bring in one of those 1 week punts 100% this week. We'll bring up some more questions in a sec. Let's do Spurs Villa. Obviously, everyone that follows the stream knows I'm a Spurs fan, but I'm always honest. We've got a lot of players injured. We've got Romero suspended. This is a tough game, but Spurs will attack. So if you've got Son, he is a captain option. Great record against Aston Villa. Scored plenty of goals against them. I think Spurs will score in this game. They might even score a couple of goals, but Villa could match them. They're on fire. This could be a goal fest. I've got a feeling it's going to be a 2-2 draw or maybe a 2-1 even to Villa. Spurs just have lots of Maddison out, Romero out, Van der Ven out. There's plenty of other injuries as well. Richarlison, Solomon, Perisic. There's no defence really this week. But Udogie is back. That's a bit of a bonus. There's also potentially an injury to Sarr. So Son, definitely play him if you've got him. You can potentially captain him as well. As for Villa, play Watkins. I'd still play Cash if you've got no one else. Great attacking upside. So play all your assets from this game because there's so much attacking potential. We will do Everton versus Man United in a second. Let's bring up some more comments. Please tell me what to do to make my team a 9 out of 10 at least. And who to captain. All right, so let's bring up Freedom's team again. If this was my team, I would probably captain Son or Haaland. And that would just come down to your personal preference. And just to make this probably slightly better, I'd probably move on someone like Thiago Silva. And you could bring in... You can maybe gamble on a Palace defender this week, like Gahey, and then next week you could move him on for potentially like a Samikas or someone because Liverpool have got good fixtures coming up. And then I think that would probably boost it up to at least a 9 for this week, and then next week you'd have a real strong team. Siddharth, welcome to the stream, mate. Saliba for me, if you're picking between those two, because Saliba is more guaranteed of starts. Let's do Everton Man United, and then I'll bring up the next few comments because some really good comments that have come in. Everton versus Man United, again, if you've got players like Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire, Onana, this is good because not many people have these players, and this fixture's kind of gone under the radar. Everton have just taken a -10 points deduction. We don't know how they're going to respond to it. So this could be a really good game week as a Fernandes owner. United are actually on some quite good form. FPL Rue mentioned it on the stream I was just on before. They're the most in-form side in the league right now, funnily enough. So we don't know what Everton side are going to turn up to this, considering they've now got this -10 points deduction, which is huge. So I think United will come here and actually get the win. I'm going to back them to win 2-0. Clean sheet and Bruno Fernandes to get in on the goals this week. So yeah, this fixture could really fly under the radar for this game week. So we'll wrap up with Fulham Wolves in a second, and then I'll start bringing up comments, Twitter news, all of that type of stuff. So any questions, get them in the comments. Give this video a like now if you haven't done it. It only takes a couple of seconds, and subscribe if you are new And if you are new and you've just subscribed, let me know in the comments and ask a question as well. FPL Cortex, Darwin Núñez starts. Big news for Darwin Núñez owners. Best 3 captains. I've actually just done a short on that. So if you go onto my shorts, you'll see Son, Salah, and Haaland are my favourite 3 this week. Bowen would have been there if we get confirmation that he's fit. Like Wingsegg, ask away, everyone. Essential stream. I will answer every question and find it incredibly useful when a dilemma happens, or even reassuring when chosen well too. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate all of your support. And like I mentioned before, get all your questions in. And there's another question that's come in, which I will answer in a second. But let's do Fulham versus Wolves. This has the potential to be either a really tight 1-0 win either way or 1-1 draw. And if it is sort of a 1-0 win to Wolves, I'm really liking Huang Hee-chan from Wolves. 8 returns in 12 games. I know some of them have been assists, but he'll likely continue to be in that front 3. If he scores, he'll be on the bonus. Wolves could come away. They're playing good football, Wolves. Great result against Spurs. I can see them winning this actually 1-0. Clean sheet potentially, or even 1-1. Then I can see Hee-chan getting some points. So he's someone in that midfield. If you need to sell Matoma, you can take a 1-week gamble on, or maybe even a 5 or 6 week gamble, because Wolves have some really good fixtures from game week 15 onwards as well, with Burnley at home. Fulham, Leno you'd probably play, but other than that, I'd be avoiding a lot of their players. So that's the fixture roundup. That's the scores for this week and some differential picks. We'll share Twitter in a second. We'll bring up some questions that have come in. Siddharth, Gabriel or Saliba for cash? Look, if you definitely want to take cash out this week, I would say pick Saliba over Gabriel, because Saliba is more consistent with his starts and with his bonus. So Foden and Haaland start. So if you're planning on captaining Haaland, he starts now. You've got that guarantee, peace of mind that he starts. So he's definitely going to be a popular captain option now. Daniel Capillaro, welcome to the stream, mate. Cash out for Gabriel. Does anyone have Lucas Moura? Captain Sonaldo. Yeah, Son captain is a great option this week. I'm doing Son captain, but it's because I'm a Spurs fan. I think if I didn't do Son, it would then be Haaland. But with the early kickoff, and because I think Son will score this week, or he'll have chances, because I think it'll be an open game. So I'm comfortable to captain Son. So I like that choice. And Gabriel's still a good pick, although I prefer Saliba. Gabriel's still a good pick because his price, and he's a goal threat. WB, another few dilemmas. Cash versus Lascelles, Mbeumo versus Adingra versus Bowen. Need to start one of the mids and one defender. Some pretty good options, mate. I would start Lascelles, home game, and then I would start... Oh, mate, that's tough. It's either... You'd probably start Bowen, because if he doesn't start, he's definitely not going to be on the bench. So you'd start Bowen, and then you'd make a decision between Mbeumo and Adingra as first sub. And I would probably say Mbeumo, because he's at home and he's on pens. But Adingra's got a good fixture as well. So it's difficult, mate. But that's what I would do. All right, let's look to... We'll wait for more questions to come in as well. So be sure to get all your questions in, like the video and subscribe if you're new here. So what we'll do now is we'll go on to Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it these days. And we will see if there's been any team news. So what do we have? Okay. I'm not seeing any kind of anything on Bowen just yet. Let's see what comes up. Not seeing too much yet in terms of team news outside of the Man City team news that we've obviously already seen on this screen so far. Okay. Nah, I'm not seeing too much else. I think knowing that Darwin Núñez starts, Haaland starts, Foden starts, that probably, and obviously Salah starts, that takes a lot of our kind of concerns away that we might have had at this sort of stage of the deadline stream anyway. So I won't bother sharing Twitter for now because that kind of gives us what we need right now. FPL Cortex, Alvarez starts as well. That's big news. That's big news because I think we kind of had a feeling in start anyway, but I know a lot of people still have Alvarez in their side. And no, you're not crazy going with Salah, mate. He's got a great record against Man City and he's fixture proof. So him and Haaland could easily match each other or they could cancel each other out. Siddharth, strong team. Anana, Saliba, Mitchell, Trippier, Buemo, Salah, Gordon, Son, Watkins, Haaland, and Archer. Mate, there's not many people happy with their team this week, though. That's the problem. Like, no one's happy with their team. So there's too many players playing against each other. But that lineup's strong, mate. I would not even be looking at making any changes with that team this week. Matt Gadsden, welcome to the stream. Good to see you still playing FPL. He's got Gusto and he's injured and not sure on his minutes. Good to swap to Colwill to keep a Chelsea player or to get Myalenko or Gahey. I've got Gabriel, Lascelles and Samikas. You could definitely play Gabriel and Lascelles. Samikas isn't the worst player to start this week. Well, he's not the best player to start, but if you really need to and you play him, like you'll probably get 1 to 2 points at worst. Gusto's definitely not coming back in the team anytime soon because Reece James is now there. So if you want to keep a Chelsea player, Colwell's not the worst option because he's cheap and cheerful. I probably wouldn't go near Mikalenko. And Gahey's someone I'd probably only say if you're going to do it, you do it for this week. And then you're probably going to have to bench him at least from game week 15 onwards with the fixtures that Palace have got. This is Wrestling Film. Has got Alvarez as my first sub with flags on White, Cash, Bowen, and Haaland, who are starting. Then happy to hear Alvarez, mate. That's it. If Alvarez is starting, if Bowen, like I said, if Bowen doesn't start, he probably won't be in the squad. He'll be completely rested, and then you'll get Alvarez coming off your bench, mate. So it's actually not the worst case scenario. But we are about half an hour till deadline. We'll wait for some questions to come in. We're just going to do question time now. So if we get an influx of questions in sort of the next few minutes, I'll stay on the stream. Otherwise, I will look to finish the stream a little bit earlier today because I've just spent a couple of hours on FPL Rouge stream as well. So this is just a quick, short and sharp stream. Freedom Kamalo, 2 best defenders for this game week 13 only, but not for Arsenal, Palace, and not Trippier. So a really good question. So let's bring up some fixtures again, and then we'll tell you the best ones. I would suggest Harry Maguire, funnily enough, away at Everton. Points deduction, cheap, starting games. And I'm going to say Craig Dawson for Wolves away at Fulham. Always can pop up with a goal out of nowhere. Or Aït-Nouri, the fullback. He looked really good against Spurs the other week. Aït-Nouri, Dawson, and Harry Maguire. Yeah, this is so true. We're all ignoring the quote, never back the early kickoff. Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah, they do say that. That's what they say. It very, very rarely gets broken. So, yeah, it is always a very, very tricky one. I wouldn't do this week, mate. Gordon's at home. Palmer's up against him. He is on pens. Chelsea are getting a lot of pens. And, yeah, there is upside. But I'd still keep Gordon this week, mate. Yeah, Harry Maguire is Matt Gaston's hero. He's not a bad transfer this week. We'll look to wrap up the stream shortly if we don't get any more questions in the next couple of minutes. We're 25 minutes till deadline. If this is the first time you've watched the channel, please subscribe. Hit the like button as well. Go check out the shorts, tips videos and question videos I've done this week ready for deadline. You've got 25 minutes to watch all of those videos to give you some more ideas up until deadline. But if nothing comes in from now, in sort of the next minute, I will look to finish the stream. As we've got all sort of the early team news that we need. I had some good questions come in as well. I'm just looking now to see if there is any late team news or anything that anyone needs to be made aware of. Doesn't look like it at all. And I don't think we're going to get any late but early sort of Bowen news either right now. So doesn't look like there's going to be too much. This is Wrestling Film. Thanks for the content. Great to hear your thoughts anytime, mate. Great to have your support as always. But like I mentioned before, we'll look to wrap up the stream as no more questions are coming in. It doesn't look like we're going to get too many right now. I'm sure if I stayed on here all the way until deadline, we'd probably get quite a lot coming up and some potentially some new people onto the channel, but we'll leave it for now. I've spent a good few hours on the Rouge stream, so I think it's time to finish the stream now. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in for this half an hour. I'll see you all in the next one. Good luck for Game Week 13. If you've got any other questions from now until deadline in the next 25 minutes that you don't put in the comments right now, then you can message me on Twitter, Instagram, or even comment on my YouTube videos. You can find me on all of the other channels at FPLMattDay. But Cortex has actually just brought this up. So let's have a quick look. He's saying Bowen is apparently good to go now. So that is very, very interesting. Let's have a look. I'll see if I can find some updates. Okay. West Ham update. This is from FPL fella who's got this from ex-West Ham employee who is a very credible West Ham source. Jared Bowen has fluid on the knee and is set to be subjected to a fitness test ahead of his game today. Kudus was reported to have an ongoing back injury, but he is set to be fit for this game. Okay. Interesting. Sounds like Bowen could be all right with the way all these reports are coming out. It's only if they think it's going to be something really, really serious. So, yeah, interesting. But, yeah, according to Cortex, there's a few other sources saying that he should be good to go. Yeah, good luck as well, mate. Hey, Two Blues podcast. Hope you're good, mate. We were talking a little bit about Palmer earlier as a decent little pickup for this game week. Q, welcome to the stream, mate. I'm actually going to pack in the stream very shortly and get ready to leave. I actually was just on FPL Rouge stream, mate, for a couple of hours, so I'm exhausted. FPL Cortex. Yeah, I would do the same. If I had Bowen, I would start him this week. Would I entertain Fari or Kudus? Mate, I'd go Paqueta from West Ham over Kudus this week, mate. I just think, he's the one you want to pick. I don't mind Fari either, but I think Paqueta from West Ham he's got a lot of potential this week, mate. If I'm gonna make a move like that. All right, if no more questions come in, we'll wrap up the stream like I did mention a few minutes ago, but I might wait a minute or two. We're starting to get some good watchers, some comments coming in. Please like the video, subscribe if you're new here. Hit that subscribe button, please. Yeah, sorry, he did actually mean Ansu Fati. I had a feeling you meant a Brighton player. So I wouldn't be going him, mate. I just think, he's a good pick, but he'll probably be a transfer waiting to happen. I'll just captain Son, mate. I'll just captain Son because you just get that full safety knowing that he's going to play. All right, everyone, we'll leave it there. Third and final calls. Thanks to everyone that's tuned into the stream. I'll be back this week with plenty more content. I'll be doing my questions for Game Week 14 video again. So be sure to ask your question on my Twitter page when I do the tweet, and then I'll do another video. They will, mate. 100%. Last question from Q. He's on Son captain. Do I think with Bentancur, Johnson, and Cooley? Yeah, they will, mate. They will. Spurs at home. You know what Ange is like. He'll always play attacking football, mate. Always find ways to create chances. The Wolves game was just a little bit of it was a blip because there was a few players that had those old habits in them, and I don't think Ange will accept that type of performance 2 games in a row. He will want Spurs to be on the front foot from the very get-go, which means they will create, mate. Bentancur's a creator. Johnson's dangerous. Kulu's a creator as well, mate. So, yeah. Yeah, you are, mate. And Postecoglou's your dad, though. Welcome to the stream, Zada. I'm actually about to finish the stream now. But look, we'll end it now. Thanks to everyone that's come in with questions and comments. I'm FPLMattDay. I will see you all in the next one. Sorry, I've had to just wrap up that a little bit earlier tonight. But yeah, like I said, any questions you can ask me on all of the socials at FPLMattDay. Bye for now.